Hey everybody, welcome back again to Ken Tamplin Vocal Academy, where the proof is in the singing. I am here in Huatuca, Oaxaca, Mexico, and I'm continuing my series, Singers Then and Now, but I'm also including my Dimashathon. Next up is Dimash, Then and Now. Now, before we get started, this is gonna be for my singer friends out there, and let me explain. And you there, guys that are not singers, you can be a fly on the wall, come along for the ride. But I want to talk specifically to my singer friends about Dimash, because we're about to experience some extraordinary things I've been wanting to talk to you about for a long time, okay? The first thing is we're going to see an evolution of Dimash's voice. And many people I've seen on the internet say he's just some god that was born with this gift and all of a sudden he came out of the womb singing like one of the greatest tenors in the world. That in fact is absolutely not true. We're gonna see it right here. I'm gonna point out some things along the way I think you might be really interested in. So without much further ado, I'm just gonna get started. Here we go. Dimash, Singers Then and Now. Here he is, age 12. Now, I'm gonna pick this apart a lot, so hang in there with me. I think you're gonna be really into the ride for this. So, first off, would that sound like one of the greatest tenors in the world to you? It wouldn't to me. In fact, if I listen to like early Michael Jackson when he was younger, you know, I would say Michael actually maybe naturally had a much more gifted voice than Dimash did at this age at least. And there's a lot of anomalies, and I'm gonna go back and play it again. Maybe anomalies is a strong word, but he's got a very kind of limited range. He also uses a very Asian dialect and almost Korean. I know there's some Russian influence. I know there's some other, maybe even Southeast Asian or Asian Silhouette and, you know, Micronesian way out and you know, again, a lot of Asian. But when I say Asian, even within Asians, there's a lot of different dialects. Now, let me explain this. By the way, for you morons out there, if you say, Ken, are you racist? I am absolutely not racist. If you think that I am, please click off and never come back to my channel, because I am certainly not, nor will I ever be. But I have to discuss different dialects in order to be able to unpack this for you guys to help you understand. I'm gonna play it again, and I'm gonna discuss each element of this. Here we go, Dimash, age 12, check it out. Now, the first thing is his Russian background, okay? We know he's from Kazakhstan, and I don't know before that, but I want to talk to you about training the voice and the evolution of the voice. He has
everything is coming from up here. They make the Korean people, they do the thing here, and everything is from here. Nothing comes down low, you know, it's all here.
Right? So he uses a very raised laryngeal position. Nope, not making fun of Korean people. I'm just pointing out that that's just the way they phonetically sound out their vowels. Now, ironically, he has a Russian background, as we know, or you know, has trafficked in that, and there's a lot of Chinese influence and some other things I don't want to go into. But I want to point out that Russians, the Russian dialect or phonetically vowel speaking, is not like that. Russians right? So they actually use a lower laryngeal position. In fairness, at his age, around age 12, kind of pre-puberty, prepubescent, on and through, you know, maturation, the voice is seated higher. So higher laryngeal positions are very typical of people younger and especially males, okay? So there is a little bit of that going on. So he's got two different things going on. He doesn't really have the lower laryngeal position of someone that's purely Russian. Now, for you guys saying, oh, you know, you're just, you know, making fun of dialects. No, I'm actually pointing out some specific things. Let me accentuate this a little farther. Let me get myself even more trouble. If I was to talk about someone from Sweden or Scandinavia, specifically Sweden and Norway, I'd say, and it's very closed. They use a lot of tongue. The vowels are very pointed and closed and pushed forward. If I'm talking about Asian, remember I said there's different Asian dialects, someone from Asia, particularly in Japan,
anything in front of face and up here. So it's not like this, it's not like this, like you got the it's up here. So sound come up here in face.
Okay. Now, a loudmouth American is, hey, Buzz, what's up, dude? What you shaking, man? And someone that's an Italian would, hey, you tell you right, I tell you again, now shut your mouth. Right? So there's a very different phonetic exchange that happens in different languages. Why am I going so far to explain this to you? Because the first thing that Dimash had to overcome at age 12 was a raised laryngeal position, defaulting more to that Asian kind of raised laryngeal position, and also that position being from his age, okay? So there is a lot of dynamic going on. So would you say he was naturally born gifted with this voice, or did he have to work at it a lot? So let's move on. Here is, that was then, this is now age 28. Here we go. Okay. Now, what did you notice? You noticed a dropped laryngeal position and the vowels were very open. So instead of sound, right? All of a sudden, he's opening him up. He's really open on this sound, literally a polar opposite. Now, did it naturally happen? Or from age 12 to, age 27, let me look here, my bad, or 28, excuse me, did he have to work at this sound? I want to play them both back to back because I really want to focus on this and get you guys to take a look at this incredible evolution of his ability to open up his sound. Is it learnable? Is it something you can do? Absolutely. I cover this in my singing course. And by the way, this is the reason I am so hyper focused on getting you guys to say it's the la, ah, like the doctor wants to see your tonsils. Because at age 12,
He was not doing la, he was doing la, it'll be
he would have that kind of sound rather than right? A very different ball game from then until now. So let's juxtapose the two or contrast the two back to back. Here we go. Check it out. This is now. Here we go. Okay, this is then age 16.
Quel volto di Missegadona, oggi dove passa Madonna, che tutti tradisci chiara non
Cool. Did you notice his sound started to open up? Instead of it's la 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 la. And he's trying, or I'll make it smaller because he was younger at 16. Right? He's opening up the sound, he's dropping the vowels to a long ah vowel, so he's elongating the vowel, and then he does something really cool. You can hear his progression from age 12 where he really had no passaggio to go through and no real higher range. I know he's saying some higher stuff, but not like this. So listen to the break, listen to him go up and through the passaggio, and notice how he gets through the passaggio effortlessly. Check it out. Here we go.
Quel volto di Missegadona, oggi dove passa Madonna, che tutti tradisci chiara non
That's where he gets through that passaggio just like I did. But he does something that he's changed later in his career. Instead of bringing so much masculine sound, he's able to more right? And he's able to go in and out of different vowel sounds instead of him playing a lot of twang or a lot of mask into the sound as he goes through the passaggio up top. Now, currently he uses both, and he uses a lot of it. When he's trying to go after, or not trying, but when he goes after more of a rock or a pop rock sound, he brings a lot of that brightness and mask in. When he's going more for a classic sound or a Belcanto, a Passaggio sound, he goes for more covered, dark vowel sounds, okay? Chiaro oscuro, which is, brightness in the center with warmth around it. That's very important. So age 16, let's continue, here we go. This is age 23. This is last word. Now, in that particular piece, he's employing almost entirely falsetto or reinforced falsetto. I'm not going to go that high. He's like way in the stratosphere. But if you notice, he's really focusing on a soprano, kind of a coloratura sort of sound. And he's not even dealing with any kind of tenor or baritone tenor range at all. He's way up in the rafters, as we say, up in the high end. So very different approach. So now he's shifted. Not only is he doing, has he developed the tenor aspect of his voice, but he's also developed the soprano aspect. Now, as we just discussed, he wasn't that old here. So let's check this out again. You've got this, this evolution. This is really important, guys, for all you guys out there that care about this. We're going to come off to the previous track. Okay, so now from that to 23, age 23, here we go. Okay, let's come back down now. Age 18, SOS, here we go. Cool, did you know? Hear the covered sound? Hear the color? Hear the vowel drop? See the jaw drop? Tongue drops to the base of the jaw, back of the throat is open. This is true Belcanto until he goes, right? He's actually bringing both in kind of a pop world, or an opera world, a little bit of the Belcanto stuff, both in the tenor range and the soprano range, and he's combining the two. And he's a lot younger here, but you see what an evolution from age 12 just to age 18, or about that age, and then on into this. Check this out. This is 28, SOS. Here we go. Did you hear that? He really brings in kind of, he's kind of in the contralto alto range, and he's really confusing a lot of people with what his real registration is, because his vocal fog, because he's not really residing in a tenor register up there. He's bringing a lot of mixed voice into that sound. He's combining a lot of soprano mixed voice or contralto alto mixed voice up and starting to go into the soprano range when he goes up top. But it's still a very different sound. Now again, think about this. Think about the evolution of this. Was he doing this stuff at age 12? No. Did it just come to him in a dream? No. He had to work at this, just like you have to work at it. So this is an evolution at the highest level of singing. Now, this didn't just come by chance. It didn't come by getting vocal lessons from your local Yahoo on the street corner. It happens with the most difficult to come by information at the highest levels and working it daily for hours on end. I cover this all with my students. A lot of people, 30-day singer, you're going to be some singer in 30 days. No, it just doesn't work like that, guys. This is literally art and a craft that is at the highest level and requires that kind of training to get to this level. But it wasn't as natural. Yes, he's gifted. Yes, he's God gifted. But it didn't come just as natural as much as both natural and having to work at it. I have to re-emphasize that for everyone that just thinks that he is a freak in nature and he's an alien from another planet. We've all talked about that, but he earned it. Okay, let's continue. Here we go. Age 19, talk. Cool. Next one. Talk, age 28. Except for that high note, he sounds like a young Placido Domingo kind of. He's got that really forward sound, extremely powerful in his upper and mid voice. It's pretty effortless until he hits that high note, and then you go, okay, that's not a tenor note. He's mixing his broad, this incredible, head registration down to his mixed voice, rock star good. Did he wake up one day with this? No, he did not. He had to work at this. Guys, get this through your head. We're watching an evolution. Please don't think that all of a sudden there's just Dimash, that the angels started singing and delivered this baby on the planet and all of a sudden he's singing. There is that, but he worked hard at this. I can't emphasize this enough. Here we go. My Beauty, age 21. Okay, here we go. Love is a Dream, age 28. Like a Dream. Do you hear that breath control? Goes and goes and goes. Now, for me, again, there's a lot of elements here that I think is really important to point out. The first thing is that I know that some people are more gifted than others. So I'm not in any way diminishing the fact that he is a wonderfully gifted person that has used that gift to the nth degree. I like using soccer as an analogy because I've seen the sport a lot and I've played it a lot. There are these guys that just walk on the field and they're just great. And it's a gift. I mean, it just comes really naturally to them, and that's awesome. And then those guys that it's not so naturally gifted and they really have to work at it. But I've seen a lot of the guys that are naturally gifted, and I don't care if it's an 80s metal singer, I don't care if it's a pop singer or whomever, that if they didn't get training, and people say, well, they're just gifted, there's all these guys out there that were great that didn't have to train, and that's true, and then most of them lost their voices in their 30s. But the ones that did, and the ones that spent the time training with correct information, I cover all of this in my singing course, they can hang on to this into their 80s, really, straight up. But if they don't, they almost always lose it in their 30s or start to lose it in their 30s. And by the time 38, 39, 40 hits, they're basically done. Now, there's very few exceptions. They exist. Zebras are out there, but not as the norm. So you're watching perfection of training and application with someone that was naturally gifted. But it also means too, for you guys out there that may not be as naturally gifted, the tortoise and the hare, for those of you guys that know the story, it may take you longer to get there, but there is a path and you can do it, and you can watch him at age 12 and say, he wasn't that great at age 12. He was great. He wasn't like Michael Jackson great, in the Jackson 5 great, in my opinion, Michael Jackson. And in my opinion, again, I think he surpassed him from an overall technical aspect. Michael Jackson, yes, king of pop, get it. But from a technical aspect, he way surpassed him from a technical aspect. And Michael Jackson kind of lost a lot of range, though he was saying high, but range from his younger years in the age 9, 10, 11, 12, and so forth, before he went through puberty, because there's a whole technical way of how you maintain height and range as you go through and maturate through puberty. Anyway, gang, hopefully this was helpful for you. I still have more coming your way. I know I've gotten a lot of requests for different Dimash songs. In fact, I'll just name them out now. I've got Ave Maria coming. I've got Stranger coming. I got a couple more. So stick around. I think you're going to appreciate those too. And God bless you guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe. subscribed on my channel. If you're interested in singing, you can get my course right here at KenTamplinVocalAcademy.com. And until next time, peace out.